I mean, what is at stake is a lot, not just for me, but for journalists in Nevada and across the country, and also every person, because the First Amendment, I think, would definitely suffer depending on how this judge rules. You know, I get information because my sources know that I will protect them. I won't reveal those sources. And if people know that in a civil litigation, not a criminal trial where somebody confessed I murdered that person, that's a whole other world. This is a workplace dispute. I think this would have a chilling effect on free speech.
You've been covering entertainment news for decades now, so you're a seasoned pro when it comes to this. Have you ever been in a situation remotely close to this?
I've never been in a situation like this before, because usually disputes like this, which are very common in show business, they're handled quietly. They're handled behind the scenes. It's rare to see something like this explode in such a way. And the reason it has is because both sides have hundreds of millions of dollars to waste on this ridiculousness. Ryan Reynolds is most likely bankrolling his wife, Blake Lively, and Justin Baldoni's billionaire co-founder of his production company, Wayfarer Studios, also is paying for his legal bills. So they have no incentive to settle. Usually both parties by now might have settled. Not this one. I think they might be going all the way to trial in March of 2026.
Wow, we definitely have that one on the books. So what do you want people, so your court date is tomorrow. You've been vocal about letting people know about when it is, where it is. Why is it so important for you to get the word out about this?
You know, it meant so much to me this past Thursday when the initial hearing was held to have a few folks there with signs. I am representing myself there were 3 lawyers. And you might think I'm crazy, but if I would have used my lawyers to represent me, I'm not being sued. It's just a subpoena. Because of the high profile nature of this litigation, because it's been happening in New York and in Vegas, because this is the 3rd month that I'm involved in this now, easily it would have cost me by now $60,000 to fight a subpoena. So I have been preparing with my friend ChatGPT, doing a lot of role play. I know all of my filings inside and out. I know the law, I know the case names, I know the years. And I'm feeling prepared, but I'm not feeling very hopeful. I think anything could happen. It is Vegas. As a journalist, I will continue to protect my sources.
Perez Hilton, known for his articles and videos on celebrity gossip, is facing a subpoena from Blake Lively in her lawsuit against her It Ends With Us co-star Justin Baldoni.
I think Blake Lively subpoenaed me as retaliation for being critical of her.
Hilton denies he was ever part of a smear campaign against Lively.
I was not paid by anyone to speak negatively about Blake Lively. I was not told to speak negatively about her. I was not promised any favors or discounts or anything.
In court, the judge announced he will be waiting for a decision from the judge in New York who has been handling the lawsuit on who ultimately has jurisdiction over Hilton in this case. If the case is sent to New York, Hilton believes the subpoena will go through, and he'll be ordered to share everything he gathered behind those articles.
The judge in New York is biased in her favor. Therefore, I am 99% sure that that judge will rule that he has jurisdiction over me.
He adds that SHIELD laws, which are legal protections for journalists and their sources, should be applied to his case. In court, he said the information he contains is not critical to Lively's lawsuit against Baldoni. Hilton, a single father of 3, says when he received the subpoena, he immediately filed a protective order, citing events that happened to other people involved in the lawsuit, saying he was scared for his children's safety.
So it wasn't me being this gossip blogger, this celebrity reporter that's being dramatic. No, it was a real risk that I wanted to, as a good father, try and mitigate.
Throughout this entire process, Hilton has not hired any lawyers, instead deciding to represent himself. With the fast timeline of the case, if Hilton is ordered to produce materials, he'd have little time to do so.
This is an overly broad, unduly burdensome subpoena that is requesting privileged information and should be quashed in full.